Right, this is the video diary for the 25th of April. Just had to check there. More progress this week. I'll start off by I think I've pretty much finished the car simulation components now. So if I just bring up a vehicle, say that, so you can see down the right hand side here, you can there's vehicle configs, differential configs. I've got limited slip diffs in there now for multiple drive wheels, separate configurations for driven and non-driven wheels. There's a config for the driver, which is attached to the chassis, engine configs, which is torque curves, power, gearboxes got in there, brake configs, I've now got that sorted with ABS. Suspension you can tweak now in the suspension config, and I've got a little dummy one there for engine upgrade level. I've not started looking at that yet. So let me just run this for you and you can see what's currently there. So this is the milk float level, the milk float vehicle. I've attached a driver in there now. I've got I'll show you how it's built in Rube in a sec, but you can basically build a 2D system with constraints and joint limits and stuff, attach that into the main chassis, and that acts like a driver, so you can drive him around. He's got driven joints with limits, so he can kind of keep himself upright. I need to look at the I need to look at having more control over the joint braking stuff I've got. Whee, there he goes. So he's just attached by his hands. His joints do break apart if you whack him hard enough, and I'll need to make him fly out of the cab in a kind of comedy fashion if he goes too far. But that's kind of that. So I'll show you some of the basic system anyway. So it's very easy to modify the vehicle. I select the vehicle there. Say I want to put a bigger engine in, I can click on that. I can select any of the engine configs I've got and run it. So this is a massively more powerful engine, so you can see it wheel spins and pulls wheelies, and it's a lot more aggressive. Whoa. So it's starting to get a little bit of comedy value in there. Let's turn that back. Creating these configs is really easy. Again, you can go into the database and just go, I'll have a new engine please, create an engine, and put the torque curves in, whatever you want to do with it. So that's quite good now, so I can pretty much bolt a car together really easily. I'll show you like actually modifying the car itself. So say I want to add an extra wheel to the milk float. So this is the basic Rube scene of the milk float. I can go into body mode. I can set the, you see it's already in there. I can set the coordinates I want to add the wheel. So I'll add a body with a circular fixture. There's a new wheel. Let me just not knock that fixture down a touch. Okay. Back into body mode, and I need to attach that to the chassis with a wheel joint. That's the one. So the only thing I need to do now to let the engine know what it is give it a custom game type, which is a custom Rube parameter. So I'll call it a drive wheel. Alright, save that scene, export the JSON, that's the milk float. Now back into Unity, run it, and boom, there you go, it's got two drive wheels now. So adding and removing stuff is pretty much that easy, as long as you tag it correctly. Yeah, those drive wheels, I'll show you the limited slip diff while I'm here. Those drive wheels do have differential things attached to them. If I click on that, differential. So at the minute I've just got a simple loose, medium and tight differentials. If I click on the loose, if I attach the loose to it, you'll see when I pull away, the wheel that has the least weight on it will spin. So it's like in a real car when the inside wheel might spin on a corner, so you can see it spinning there before it got some traction. I can put a tight diff on there, run it again. This time you see both wheels stay in sync, because there's a viscous coupling between the two wheel joints, well, between the N end-driven wheels. I've got a kind of a variable viscous coupling number that you can, just the viscosity there, and it's got the center diff input output ratio, so you kind of simulate that as well. So that's drive wheels. Driver stuff, you can see the driver is there, so you just basically build this in Rube. It's very easy, a couple of minutes to build this. Add the joints, give each joint a name so I know whereabouts it maps to the in-game, and you can set limits and that kind of stuff. You can test it in Rube. Bonk, there he is. So you know he's got basic joint limits in, so his knees don't bend backwards. He's got a slightly wobbly head. He's not driven. He's not driven in there. What I can do inside Unity is I can select the driver, and I can basically define the driven joint forces for that driver, and then when it comes to the vehicle itself, I can just, where is it yet? I can just attach a driver, and as long as the hand and feet nulls are labelled in the chassis, then he goes in, and he'll stand up, he'll bend his knees when he drops down, and he'll do different things. If you back him hard enough, his head will fall off, which is quite cool. So, whoa, there he goes again. So that's looking like, oh, I've just snapped his legs off. So that's looking like it's got quite good potential there. So I'm kind of happy with the vehicle and the driver now, apart from tweaking and chucking more data at it. The basic technologies there. What I'll start looking at now is an actual environment. So I've started looking at prefabs, Box 2D prefabs, and I've had to come up with a little script to modify things. Let me just show you. The problem is, if I bring up my test scene, just get rid of that. So the problem is, just with a standard Box 2D kind of prefab here. Let me just modify this just to show you the problem. I'll get rid of that. Bush. So if I play that, what's happening there is the joint anchor points, which are here, are always defined in world coordinates, which means if you've got a prefab that isn't at the world null, they don't work, which is a bit not right. So I've created a little script which you can attach to one of your prefab bodies, which basically fixes this up. Box 2D fix up. So you just attach it, leave it alone. Now if I run it, boom, there you go, it's a seesaw, it tips properly. I can put multiple ones in the scene. Ooh, where's he gone? If I stop playing it first. There you go, play that, and they both work fine. So a little bit of work needed there. But now I can basically build nice prefabs with Box 2D physics in there, drop them in the scene, and they all work hunky-dory. So I'm going to start building some more exciting tracks, and have a little look at things. See, I've got the two seesaws there in the scene. I just started doing that last night. I've also got some other little, that's a distance constraint, so it's basically a little pendulum thing that'll swing. I've got a few instances of that. I'm going to build a few more interesting physics constraints on these environment objects, and then I want to attach some half decent graphics to them, really, get some decent models, and I can start playing around with textures and lighting, and get the actual vehicle populated with meshes, and just beef it up a little bit. So what I've also done this week, yesterday actually, I subscribed to CG Cookie, which is a really cool kind of training website. It only costs about £6 a month, to subscribe. And they've got a load of real nice high def Unity and Blender tutorials on there. It's really nice, so I'm going to do some of them, brush up on my Blender stuff and get some better assets in there. Yeah, I'm just trying to get a little. There's something else I want to do after I've done that, is I want to put a little debug front end on, so you can pick which chassis you want to do and then configure the car, run it down a track, crash it, restart, get a very simple little tech demo running. Then what I'll probably do, what I was thinking of doing, is when I've got that, I'll get the Mac, PC and Linux builds up and just stick them on my website and people can download them and play them. Why not? I think that's about it for this diary, so thanks for listening.